Hello, friend. Today we are going to take a look at generators and manifesting generators, so that type. This type, their auric field that comes along with their human vessel is what we call open and enveloping. So they're open to the process and they're enveloping those that are around them. Okay. And of course, they're always wondering who they are in amongst all of this. So that open and enveloping aura brings the life towards them. And what's really key here is that, manifesting generators are what we call in the business world, classic builders and express builders. We are here to work. We are here to build on what the manifestors have graciously created for us. And we're here to build and use our energy in a satisfying way. And how we can do that is by using the strategy of to respond. The aura is bringing life towards you. And then you get to respond and go, I'll use my energy for this. I'm not going to use my energy for this. So the manifestors, they've opened the doorway, and then you get to respond, I can, build on your creation. Or, I'm going to wait for the next door to open up. So it really is for a manifesting generator, or builder. You're here to wait. And I know this pisses off 70% of the population that are this type. And we've all been trained to initiate. The manifestors have all been trained to wait and to respond. And we've been trained to initiate. And it's all backwards. When we allow ourselves that moment of waiting to see what the universe is going to bring to us, life looks totally different. The question that I get, well, how does anybody know that I'm even here? Well, you can still market yourself. Marketing yourself and initiating is two totally different things. If you're pushing yourself up against people and trying to make things happen, then that's initiation. And for most people that are aware and awake, and you're either a generator, a manifesting generator, or a builder, you know that this doesn't feel good. It feels frustrating because the people just aren't ready for it. They're not ready for it. But when you market it, what happens is you're going to bring those people to you. You're going to bring your niche to you when you market yourself. So it's not about sitting on the couch eating potato chips. It's about, okay, here is what I have. Here is my skill set or my passion. And then you get to lay it out, and then people then get to respond to that or feel invited to it. Or they get initiated by your marketing. But you're not initiating. It's the marketing that's initiating. I hope that makes sense. Because you're just laying out, this is who I am. And who is attracted to that will bring themselves to you. With that open and enveloping aura, what I love is that man, as a 1-3 manifesting generator, I absolutely love to study and research and amass a tremendous amount of wisdom through experience and through studying. And what I've found is that the law of attraction is what human design is built off of. Because when we just take a look at what we call the mandala, if every single one of these gates or traits were colored in, what would be created is what we call an emotional manifesting generator. And that aura is open and enveloping, just like the law of attraction. So it's fun to watch how human design permeates throughout all thought leaders, all scientific discoveries that are happening. It's right there. It's on the leading edge of it all. But what makes a manifesting generator or a builder is this lovely little square right here. And this square is what we call, the energy resource, the sacral center. This is our work and available resource that we have to share with the world. And what is critical for us, and I say us being a manifesting generator, what is critical is that we use that energy in a satisfying way, so that we are producing and using those resources so that the physical body is healthy. And the way to that satisfaction is by response, is by listening to the response of the body and not feeling guilty about it. People want my energy every day, all day long. And I get to say, mm-hmm, or mm-mm, period. I get to say, mm-hmm, I have available energy for this, or mm-mm, no, I don't. And I don't feel guilty about it, because when that energy is correct, when I'm ready to use my available energy, my body tells me. And I no longer push through. Oh, I did for many years, push through a lot of things. And my body took a real downturn. It was ready to give up on me. And thankfully, human design bumped into me, and I could go, oh, okay, now I get all these noises. I understand why they're happening. I'm grunty. Manifesting generators, builders, you're going to hear yourself grunt a lot and moan and groan, and things are happening. You're satiated or not, or enjoying your food, or enjoying your sexual encounter. It's all within that beauty of that, ooh, I have available energy or not. What happens is that, we are trained to initiate, and that initiation creates a whole shit ton of frustration, because we're expending our energy on what the not self mind is saying. Oh yeah, go do, yeah, you should do this, or you could do that, blah, blah, blah. And then frustration ensues. So the crucial thing here is to respond. Wait for people to ask you for your energy. Wait for the universe to ask you for your energy. Just wait to be asked, so that you fully can be aware of when you're going to expend your energy and when you're not. The simplistic piece of human design, like, we complicate the hell out of our lives. And we don't need to do that. If we can just purely make decisions that are correct for us, our world would not look like it does. If everybody actually was able to see that they have mutated into this nine-centered being, and their authority is within them. Their authority is within them. It's not about the government. It's not about the pharmaceutical companies. It's not about anybody holding a carrot and dangling a carrot out and trying to make you fearful. That's not what this life is about. Yes, as seven-centered beings, we were just surviving. Now, as nine-centered beings, nothing, absolutely nothing, can put you in a cage unless you put yourself in that cage. And this is going to come to a surprise to everybody. You know, you're creating your reality by how you expend your energy, by the thoughts that you have in your head. And as generators and manifesting generators, we are 70% of the population. And if we just were able to use our energy to a place where it is satisfying to use that energy resource, we can shift the whole entire planet's energy field, because we hold the greatest amount of people. So it is about decision making for manifesting generators, generators, and builders. You're here to respond and decide whether or not you're going to expend your energy on what is being asked of you. So there is, so as a generator, again, the red square is the Sacral Center, the work and availability, it's defined. And what you'll notice is that there can be lots of different configurations. But for this person, they're emotional. Their inner authority is emotional. So there's a response that happens, but the actual inner authority is emotional. So it's almost like a two-part process. They're responding over time. They're coming to clarity over time. The response happens, okay, I just need to check my calendar, you know, look at my vacation time, whatever it is, you buy yourself some time so that you can come to a place of clarity. And your inner authority is then going to say, okay, now is the time for you to expend your energy on what was asked of you, or no, now that this time period is past, we're not going to expend our energy on whatever's being asked. And it all comes from a place of clarity. It's not about the mind weighing the pros and cons, you know, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. It has absolutely nothing to do with the mind, but it has everything to do with how the body is feeling. And if the body is saying, okay, I have available energy for this or not. And the only way for an emotional generator to come to that understanding is over time. So, you know, just an example of another generator, like look at the openness here, right? Two centers, and it's all about emotions and identity. So this being when the decision is made, when the body grunts, it's right now. That's the decision. There's no waiting around. There's no waiting for the decision. But generators are waiting to respond. So there's this wait period to see what's coming into the aura, and then you get to respond to it. This particular generator, the moment that they respond, that's their decision. So if there's an they move forward. If no. For this generator, you know, they're waiting. Their aura brings them whatever they need to see in this life. Then they go or and then they say, but I just need to take a few moments and I'll let you know tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever your time period is. And then you get to just relax into that decision making and just watch the body's emotional intelligence gain what it needs to gain and say, okay, I can present myself and I can use my energy or not. It's not about being spontaneous with this kind of configuration. But here, it's definitely in the moment. The sacral is saying yes or no. The energy resource is saying yes or no. And it's all done. Now, the manifesting generator piece of this is that there is a motor. So any 4 of these motors that get connected to the throat. So here, as you can see, this motor goes up and connects to the throat. So this is what we call a pure manifesting generator. So once the decision is made, so there's a response, they come to clarity over time, then they move into manifestation fairly quickly. With generators, that manifestation is a step-by-step process. But for this particular manifester, being a split definition, what you're going to notice is that, okay, so these two centers are hooked together. Then we have these three centers that are hooked together. So it's like having two islands of energy. But their process might take a little longer. Their timing might be a little longer. And most likely, what this person wants to do is listen to that initial yes or no and be super fast and move like the Dickens into the manifestation. Super unhealthy for the body. What's healthy is that the initial response happens, you buy yourself some time, you know, play hard to get, listen to the emotional, the you know, energized, fuelized, emotional intelligence that's created through your desires. And then once there's clarity, then you can move into manifestation. For this manifesting generator, another totally different configuration. You see here, these two centers are connected, and then we have these four centers that are connected. But the sacral center isn't directly connected to the throat. It actually, you know, this motor and this motor come up to the throat. So again, what you're going to notice here, the dilemma here is that this person wants to be a manifester. They want to get out there, they want to hustle, they want to initiate, they want to push. And their sacral center is going, hold on a minute, talk to me, ask me. I need to tell you whether or not I have available energy for this. So the crucial piece here is for this manifesting generator to listen to the sacral and then go, okay, you know, just give me a few days, I'll get back to you. And then they can then and through their emotional intelligence go, okay, I can willfully commit to expending my energy on this or not. I can really concentrate on moving this project forward. So again, four very different showing four different, very different charts, but understanding that the process, the beginning process for all of them are the same. And that is listening to the response. And then either going with the response or coming to clarity after the response has happened. And you're going to see a huge difference in the life. The satisfaction permeates how you feel. You know, for my body, what happens for me is that I know when the not self mind, and it still is there, that not self is still processing through me all the time. You know, Ra was, you know, in human design for almost 30 years before he passed, and he's like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't, you know, it still natters and chatters in the background. And my process now is around 6.5 years, something like that, and it's still there. And I know that if I've made decisions through my mind, what happens is the tension that happens within my shoulders and my neck is insane. For me, I worked at a financial institution as a branch manager. I was in management for 9 out of the 10 years that I worked there. And for the first year, I was still going to school as a student, because I'm a perpetual student and will be forever. But I didn't have a knack, because I was constantly, I had, you know, this tight energy up here, because I was just not living my true authentic self, not listening to anything that my body was telling me. And now what I love is, you know, I've been able to decompress from that, but there's still moments in my life, and I'm not perfect. And even though I know this information and I study it and I live it, there's still moments in my life that not self tries to make decisions. And when it does that and it pulls me down a rabbit hole, holy crap, I know it immediately because that tension becomes so apparent to me. So it's just about awareness. It's not about perfection. We're not here to be perfect. We're here to experience and be aware. That's our whole process. And in that, have so much joy and anticipation to what life is just going to present to us. That's the fun piece about this. And when we become aware, we can go, oh, okay, so all right, I was just at the entrance of that rabbit hole, but I didn't have to go in. I can now reroute myself back into my authentic being. All right, so that was a little bit of a rant, but it gave you an idea as to what a generator, manifesting generator and builder, what it's all about. So enjoy, and if you are ever interested in having a reading, then I'm just going to share a different screen so that you can see how to contact me. And right there, so you can contact me through my website or email, and we can look at doing any kind of coaching package that feels right to you. Any kind of coaching package that you respond to or feel invited to, or there's this little initiation that takes place. So enjoy. Thank you very much for your time, and we will chat again.